Long time no see. Long time no see. I know it's been a while. Been about a month and a half since we've been live on the Sports Tip. Appreciate you guys. Episode 321 live this morning. Episode 321. Today's date is February 24th, 2026. This is only my second show this season, this year, I should say. Still got the sports on my mind. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys been great. The last month and a half, really since the new year started. We have 470 subscribers as we speak right now. So I appreciate you guys so much. Missed so much. I haven't been on since early in the playoffs, early in the NFL playoffs. Of course, you know the NFL season's over. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They are your champions. We'll revisit that. Look at some other NFL news. But we probably focus more on the NBA today. We're going to look at the current NBA standings as now we're in the second half of the season. Look back at the All-Star weekend in the NBA, who I think MVP should be so far, which is a heated debate as well. And we'll just touch on a little bit of baseball. Spring training started, and the World Baseball Classic is right around the corner as well. But I miss you guys, man. Sorry I ain't been live. There's been a lot going on in my life. It's positive though. It's positive change. So been had to juggle my time around with work and everything else. So that's why I haven't been live in a while. And then, like I said, my location that's changed. There's been a couple of times I was going to go live, but that changed on me at the last minute. But you see, today I'm here. I'm ready for this morning. We're gonna have a good show today. I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, man. Y'all been great. Like I said, y'all been patient. We got a big week this week in the video game side of the channel. Resident Evil 9, Resident Evil Requiem starts on Friday. Can't wait for that. Been hearing a lot of positive things about that. And I got a little surprise. I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag today. I probably put it on my community wall. What I'm gonna do also. So we got 2 new games coming the end of this week. To start out this month, and then marathon in another week as well. So look forward to doing that content for you guys. But this morning we're gonna start in the MLB. Spring training, like I said, spring training is just good to get your. Don't pay attention to the record. I keep telling people. With any preseason, no matter what the sport is, don't lost your team, lost your main players, look good, and don't get hurt. That's what you should be mainly concerned about. Speaking of the injuries, Jordan Westberg for the Orioles. I followed the Orioles a little bit because I'm from Baltimore, here in Baltimore, so he got hurt, so he'd be out. So lost your team looks good. You know what I'm saying? Just look at that. The World Baseball Classic put a monkey wrench into this year's spring training as well. So a lot to look forward to in baseball. I like the World Baseball Classic. I think the last one was pretty good with Japan. Shatoni going against the Americans. Him and Mike Trout was teammates at the time. I think he struck out Mike Trout to either end the game or a big spot in that moment. So if you're a baseball fan, definitely check out the World Baseball Classic. I think I got a feeling one of the teams, the Caribbean teams, is going to win it. Either the DR, one of those teams. They always deep. Puerto Rico. I think one of those teams going to show out. The USA, they got a strong squad. Even though I just seen Tarek Struble for the Tigers, the ace, he said he only going to pitch in pool play once, and then he's going to go back to spring training. I respect that. He's young in his career. He don't want to jeopardize getting injured before the season starts for Detroit. So I respect that decision. Not to put not to put everything into this. Even though I like the World Baseball Classic, I hope the U.S. win, but I respect this decision. To at least he's doing something. You know, he could have just said, "I'm not pitching at all. I'm gonna stay with my MLB team." But I respect this decision. I can't knock him for that. He's looking for a big contract, so that's also got something to do with it as well. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for coming here this morning. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for commenting. Y'all been doing great with the commenting as well, so I appreciate you guys so much for supporting the channel. But other than that, I just wanted to look at the AL East. I probably try to. I think what I'm gonna do this year, I usually do a whole show just dedicating it to baseball, but I think I'm just gonna do shorts. I'm gonna just break down every division, and then probably do one short just to, my predictions, who I think can make the World Series, all that noise. But I mean, I wonder who's going to beat the Dodgers. I think that's the big question going into the season this year. Who's going to beat the Dodgers? Um, Shatoni's will be back on the mound again. They just going to be hard to beat. Um, I think that's the biggest question going into this season. And can speaking of the AL East, that's why I wanted to touch on the AL East today because the Toronto Blue Jays, the team that lost to the Dodgers in the World Series, can they make it back? What would be their status with Vlad and everybody else? But the AL East going to be tough. The Yankees going to be there again. Like I said, the Orioles are young. We'll see what they do this year. Boston, like I said, Boston had a strong season last year. They did get far, but they had a strong season. Was right there near the end as well. So we'll see. It's a deep division. Tampa can't sleep on the Tampa Bay Rays either. They had a down year last year, but it seemed like they always put together a respectable season. So tough division. Me being in Baltimore, being somewhat of an Orioles fan, uh, I want to see them improve. Again, pitching is going to be the key for them. If they can get some consistent pitching, they'd be competitive. Like I said, the Joel Westberg injury going to hurt. But let's see if Jackson Holiday, these young guys, step up for the Birds this year. Like I said, the Yankees are the Yankees. Aaron Judge, you know what he does, especially during the regular season. They're a deep team as well. We'll see if Garrett Cole is healthy to start the season. So we'll see about that. Oh man, well shout out to you, bro. I'm sorry to hear that about your father, man. I lost my dad. It's been a while now. My dad been gone. What's this? 26. He died in 13, so 13 years. Be 13 years the end of this year. So my condolences as well, especially if it's recent. So there's no problem at all. Yeah, both of my parents is gone. So even though me and my dad didn't get along before he passed, but still hurtful. I mean, he's the reason why I'm here right now. My love of sports came from my dad. I don't want to get too off topic, but that was the time we really spent a lot of quality time together watching like the big sport events, NBA Finals, Super Bowls, things of that nature. So like Super Bowl, I definitely think about them. That's the time we used to really bond and spend time together. So speaking of the Broncos, I'm guessing you're a Broncos fan. Rough. It was rough that Bo went down at the end of the with the divisional game, and then that crazy sloppy game against New England with the weather and everything. I honestly think if they wouldn't have turned the ball, if Sidham wouldn't have turned the ball over, but you know he was thrown into the fire, so but I think they still hugging there and hanging there, but New England, they took advantage of it, but Seattle was the dominant team this year. We're going to look back at that in a little while. But the AL East is going to be another strong season this year. We'll probably look at the NL East next week. I like my Braves, my Atlanta Braves. I just saw that they gave Chris Sale an extension. I like Chris Sale, good left-hander, so that's good news. Hope my Braves bounce back this year. But they're in a tough division as well with the Phillies, the Mets, even though the Mets sort of crashed and burned last year. Miami, we'll see what Miami and Washington do. They showed some flashes last year. They still rebuilded, but still a tough division in the East as well. So hopefully my Braves can bounce back and get back into the playoffs this season. Let's go ahead and talk about the NBA real quick. Let's talk about the All-Star festivities. I know it's been about a week now, but I didn't. Well, the Saturday night events I didn't really watch. I watched the highlights more of that, and the All-Star game, which is now broken up into mini games with the world against the U.S. But at least it was competitive. It was competitive. Um, I liked that part of it, but I mean, I think people over exaggerate, just like people was over exaggerating the other way. I think they pretty much hyped it up. I mean, it was good. I liked it. It wasn't bad. I can get used to it. But I think we jumping to conclusions. We'll see what they do next year. Will they change the format again or keep it the way it is? The dunk contest, of course, it was what it was. The 3-point contest was of course, the main thing to watch. I didn't even know Dame was going to compete, let alone he won it, basically on one leg. Um, which shout out to Damian Lillard. I think he's happy back in Portland. I don't think he never really wanted to leave Portland. I think he just tried to chase a ring. Didn't work out Milwaukee. Um, he tears his Achilles. They let him go. He wound up back in Portland. Uh, but it was more Portland was more personal to him. His family was there. He built a foundation there, so he never really wanted to leave the Blazers in the first place. So next year, I think he's gonna have a monster year. I just hope he. But I didn't know. I mean, I just was crazy that he's cleared to even because you gotta, you shooting jump shots and you jumping on your leg. So I would think, that was pretty. To me, I think that was dangerous for him to do that. But he won it. He seems like he's fine. Look like he can play to me. Um, but maybe I think your Achilles take away your lateral movement. So maybe at least when you shoot jump shots, you don't have to move laterally that much. So maybe. I'm not no doctor, but I just was shocked. I thought it was when I saw the thumbnail. I was like, why they put Dame on the thumbnail? He's out for the season. So I was surprised that he was in that. So I think that was one of the biggest takeaways from the weekend as well. So the other events, is cool. The celebrity game and all the other stuff. So, but it was good. It was good. It wasn't a bad All-Star weekend. It was better than in recent years. I put it that way. So. Uh, Giovanni, what's up, man? Sorry, I just did try to get off top. I see your comment. Thank you for being here, brother. Let's look at the standings now. Of course, we're in the second half of the season. Detroit Pistons rough loss last night to the Spurs. I'm starting to come around. Well, I already thought the Spurs would be something this season, but we're gonna get to them when we get to the West, but. Detroit right now 5 ahead of Boston for the 1 seed. Boston is 2. Knicks are 3. Cleveland is 4. Toronto is 5. Toronto I haven't really seen played as much this year. I admit to that. So still a surprise that they 5th. But I haven't seen much of them. Brandon Ingram, underrated player though for the Raptors. Sixers to me is the sleeper. If Embiid can stay healthy, they're going to be an issue. Tyrese Maxey is turned the corner as well. The Paul George thing, I touched on it on one of my shorts. Might be a blessing in disguise because he'd be ready for the playoffs. Orlando Magic is 7th. This the play-in teams now. Miami in 8th. Atlanta 9th. Charlotte 10. Charlotte pretty much rose for the dead. They still under 500, but they pretty much rose for the dead. The question is, can they hold on? To these, Atlanta, I think Miami, Orlando, Philly, Toronto, Cleveland, New York, Boston, Detroit, they're going to make it one way or the other. There's going to be Atlanta and Charlotte. Can they hold on to them final 2 play-in spots? Bucks, if Giannis come back and decide to play, the Bucks are going to be hang around. And the Bulls, yeah, they sort of revamped their roster, made a lot of trades at the deadline. So we'll see what they do. The Washington, they made some trades. I think they pretty much going to attack it in this year. Even if Anthony Davis come back with Trae Young, I think they're going to just probably let those guys kind of chill out for this year and push for next season. Get a high draft pick, so I don't see Washington try to make a run either. So, honestly, I think the 10 teams are set in both conferences. I think the Bucks kind of want to start over. If Giannis do wind up leaving, they want to a chance after a high draft pick with the draft and everything. So, I mean, with the lottery, I should say. So I think your 10 teams are set. But Boston, I'm starting to warm up to Boston. Boston surprised me this year as well. Jaylen Brown, we're going to talk about the MVPs. in the NBA currently, or the top candidates, we should say. But the Celtics showing their experience. The other teams, to me, like the Knicks, it's like they have great moments and they have low moments as well. Cleveland, same thing. Um, Philly, like I said, the injuries. Um, Toronto, you don't know nothing about. I picked Orlando to make the finals to begin the season, just because it was such a weird year in the East this year. But I just don't think they could score enough. Um, I like Pachero, the main player. I think he got to get better offensively. He's a good defensive player. I think he got to get a consistent mid range shot. But I think he's going to keep improving. I still think they could do it, but honestly, if you had to make me pick today, I probably would go with Boston coming out the East. That's my opinion. Detroit, though, um, they flawed. They pretty much a grind you down team for this. I mean, for this day and age. Cade Cunningham has been huge. He's definitely deserves some MVP consideration. But what the Spurs did last night, and the Spurs gonna be a problem because they got the guards. They got all these guards that can guard and they can shoot. And then you got Wemby in the middle. So the Spurs gonna be a problem for anybody, especially on a day-to-day basis. So, but the Detroit might hold on to the 1 seed. But right now, I like Boston to be is playing the best basketball out of all these teams right now. So, but still got what most teams got 20 games or less left. So we'll see how days go the rest of the season. Western Conference, OKC Thunder, big win Sunday. I watched them Sunday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that was a big win for them. I get to give their team confidence. No SGA was out. Jalen Williams pretty much been out all year. No Alex Caruso. None of that. So that was a huge win for them. I think that's going to that make me believe more in them again because I was at the beginning of the season. I was like, who's going to beat them? Then the Spurs went 4 out of 5 against them this season. I like the way Houston started the season, but even though despite all their problems, I got the rat on my thumbnail. He's going to have to, I think, especially in the playoffs, he will have to pray out world. He got to. Well, the knock on Kevin has always been that really killer instinct, like give me the ball or else type attitude. I mean, he showed it in certain situations, but I think, especially for this team, he's going to have to definitely be the go-to guy. Şengün has had a good season, a good career season. Houston, I still like him defensively, and I like Udoka, the coach. I think it's different. I don't think they're going to fold. Like I said, I think they're going to definitely fight to the end. So don't count out the Rockets. Spurs are second. I mentioned them. Like I said, they're going to be an issue with all the guard play. They got. I mean, we talk about Wemby, of course, which he deserved to be talked about, but all the guards, they got Castle and Harper and all these guys, man, that can defend and shoot threes. The Spurs are going to be an issue. Of course, you just don't know what they're going to do in the postseason. That's the only probably hesitation you have with them. Denver Nuggets, though, you can't kill them. Jamal Murray having a monster year. Joker starting to get his legs back. They're going to be an issue all year. Lakers, of course, the defense. Of course, we talk about the defense. But Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, they pretty much got to play great every night. Not saying they're not capable of doing it, but they would have to do it every night, especially on the offensive end. Minnesota 6. Minnesota's a sleeper team. I just think when it comes to playoff time, I think it's too much on that, man. They need to really. Julius Randle try to be that second consistent guy, but he fades a little bit sometimes. See, like Rudy Gobert gets dominated against better teams defensively. So we'll see what Minnesota do, but they're definitely capable of making some noise. Phoenix Suns, to me, has been one of the biggest surprises. Devin Booker's out right now. I seen them play Sunday as well. Who they was playing? Or was it Saturday? I think it was Might have been Sunday also. But who they play and they beat? I think it was Orlando. Yeah, I watched them against the Magic. Um, Won in double overtime. Yeah, I think that was Sunday. Yeah. So, yeah, but again, same thing I said about OKC. Uh, you know, um, them not having any main stars. Dylan Brooks went down. That sucks. He got a broken hand. It's on his last shooting hand, but still, that's going to be an issue for the rest of the season. But I like the Suns. Um, they overachieved this year, I think. Golden State Warriors. Um, like I said, yeah, they added Chris Stopps and some things to make up for Jimmy Butler, but I just think the Warriors have a ceiling. Um, like I said, I think they need to consider getting younger. They finally let Kuminga go, um, so we'll see how the Warriors do. But Steph, he can get hot to carry you for a series at least. So Warriors will still be dangerous if they make it. Blazers have overachieved this year. I didn't think the Blazers would be nowhere near this place, especially with the scandal with Chauncey Billups, the gambling scandals and things. I didn't think the Blazers would be here, but they're here. So, and you got the LA Clippers, which they're a monkey wrench. If they could get Pats to play in, Kawhi if he's healthy, we'll see if Garland would be back. You know, he came over with the Harden trade. The Clippers are going to be a dangerous team if Kawhi is healthy and able to go in the playoffs. The rest of the teams that's down here, we're just going to touch on the room here. Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, Jai is out. They traded away Triple J to the Jazz. So Grizzlies, I think, is about to break some things down, probably rebuild. Dallas, same thing. Kyrie came out that Kyrie is going to be out for the rest of the season. And Dallas, like I said, I think these teams are done. Anyway, Jazz, New Orleans Pelicans, another disappointing team. Zion Williamson. Kings, I thought the Kings would be a little bit better this year, but they got the worst record in the NBA with just 13 wins. So, yeah, so that's where we stand. But like I said, I think in both conferences, the 10 teams are set. It's just going to depend on the seedings and the matchups. I believe you got your playoff teams already. They're just going to play these last 20 games out to see who match up with who. So, we'll see about that. MVP, I touched on it. MVP race right now. I guess I'll give you my top three. Jaylen Brown to me he's number one right now. I know Cade Cunningham's having a monster season for the Pistons. They're the one seed. But Jaylen Brown, I think, is underrated. He's been the spearheader to this Boston team that thought they was going to take a year off, basically, with no Jason Tatum, and that the rumors started to come around that he's been practicing. He might be ready for the postseason. Now, me personally, I agree with most people. Go ahead and sit this season. But at the same time, I understand if he's healthy, if he's cleared by the doctors, all that stuff. I guess it's going to be hard for him to sit, especially during postseason, because I think they got a chance to come out with or without him, the way the East set up this year. So, but I put Cade in that discussion. I'm gonna say Joker for now. I think he's not going to make it through the season because I think he only can miss one game. If he missed 2 games, he'd be ineligible for the MVP. But if he somehow plays the rest of the season and you do what he's doing, it's going to be hard to deny him also, especially if Denver moves up a little bit, maybe get the top 3 or 2 seed. I think Denver has a shot. I mean, Jokic have a shot at the MVP again. Already a 2-time winner. So, that's my top 3. As far as that rule, just to touch on it real quick, I don't like it. I think either lessen the games, make it 50. Maybe make it 50 games, because that's a little bit more than half. I would make it 50 games, and then you're still good to get the reward because Joker has played well this year. Um, and I don't think you get no all NBAs. None. I think you get none of that stuff. So, but I think this is an owner's thing because you can have a great player, and I think the more your contract matters with the all NBAs and all and the rewards and stuff like that. So it's a way to maybe like Joker. I'm gonna use Joker as an example. Like let's just say he missed the last 2 games. He definitely deserves to still be an All NBA player, but he won't be because he missed too many games. So uh, we'll see if that rule gets changed. But I think they gotta wait. I don't know if they gotta wait to the next CBA or what. But yeah, I don't like that rule at all. Like I said, I would make it 50 games. My personal opinion. That's still more than half the season. You played 50 game seasons in the past, so 65. I get it. I get the reasoning of it in a way, because players sit for no reason now. Um, so, but these are legit injuries that's hurting players. So I say change the rule to 50 games at least, or just do away with it altogether. To go back to the old way, because the voters do what they want to do sometimes, but they have common sense. If somebody played 25 games, and of course, no, they don't deserve to be MVP or any of those things. So what I'm saying. So uh, I think it'll work itself out eventually. But this year it's gonna be interesting. To see if Joker, especially let's just say Joker only missed 2 games, he 1 game, missed it by 1 game, and don't get any of those awards. That'd be a shame to me. So we'll see how that goes. So that's our NBA talk for today. We're about 30 minutes in. We're gonna touch on some NFL, and then talk about some other news in the world of sports as well. Super Bowl 60. Of course, I ain't been on live since the wild card round. I think I went live right before. Probably I think I was right because the 7th. I think it was probably that week. I think the wild card was just about to start. Playoffs was just about to start. So, um, but it was a great playoffs. NFC side, of course, Seahawks won the whole thing. But uh, of course, I thought I had the Rams. I thought the Rams would get revenge, but they pretty much handled the Rams. Um, I gotta give Seattle credit. Sam Darnold. I'm just so happy for Sam Darnold, man. I like to see stories like that. He was pretty much almost out the league, but then he comes, getting the right situation. Um, Coach Mike McDonald got to give him credit as well. The environment he set in Seattle that quickly, um, and to win the Super Bowl that quickly. JSN, I guess that's going to be the big story for Seattle. Will they get him paid? I think they will. I don't think they stupid to let him get on the open market in any type of way. Um, so I think Seattle's going to be a problem for years to come. I don't think this is just a fluke year. I mean, it was a weird year, but I don't think this is a fluke year. They're going to be a contender, even though they're in a tough division. But the Niners will be back. They suffered a lot of injuries. Rams lost Stafford, don't retire. But I think the Rams, I'd be surprised if they don't pick a quarterback in this draft. So somebody to see Stafford, because I think Stafford maybe got 2 years left at max. So they should be looking at quarterbacks in this draft. Uh, what else happened in this? Well, other than that, because it was really those two teams. The Eagles, of course, disappointed in today's season. The AJ Brown thing still going on. Will they keep him or not? I thought Philadelphia would be, give a better showing in the playoffs. But everybody else, like the Niners, they fought hard, got to where they needed to go. But Seattle was just a better team. AFC, I had the Broncos. Of course, Bo Nix got hurt. I just was talking to um, Boog 881. Like I said, I'm guessing he's a Broncos fan. That was, like I said, that was just terrible how Bo Nix got hurt in that game, in the overtime game against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills got to be kicking themselves as well. I think this was their opportunity to finally break through as well. But the Patriots um, took advantage of their situation and made it to the Super Bowl. But just Seattle, I was surprised how Seattle pretty much dominated that game. I just think New England just didn't have it enough. They fought a little. They got some garbage points at the end, but Seattle was pretty dominant, which was a surprise to me. So, uh, but the game itself, like I said, just Seattle was just suffocating. Uh, Drake May he didn't have time to breathe, let alone throw the football. He was very, very under duress the whole game, really the whole playoffs, but they got through it, got that far. So definitely offensive line will be revamped in the offseason. But I think New England ain't going away either. Um, I think they division with the Jets and the Dolphins to be still light years away. Buffalo is going to be a challenge. Um, they got a new coach. So we'll see. Josh Allen is still the MVP. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's going to be, they're going to have a much tougher schedule. So we'll see what they made of next season. But I like New England to hang around and still be a contender to the AFC. AFC is good. Well, like I said, the NFL probably the most parity league in the world. You look at the NFC, it's so many good teams. AFC, same thing. So can't wait. The next year it's gonna be another great season. Far as free agency didn't start yet, but the franchise tags has already went out. Of course, the biggest one is in Dallas. George Pickens. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how he react to it. It's pretty much already done. All the reports saying that's what Dallas is going to do. So I just want to see how George Pickens react to it. But I think he got to look at it both ways. I think yes, he want to get paid, but I think Dallas, as far as for him, is a good situation. Even though it's probably better situations out there, but as far as like right now, I think this is the best team he could play for with CD on the other side of you. They had a good chemistry during the season. Dallas just couldn't stop nobody, and you know how that goes. So we'll see how this plays out. But just something to look out for in the coming weeks. Free agency, I think, starts probably the first week of March or a little after. So we'll see what these teams do. Draft, of course, is in April. So then after that, you pretty much get to gauge, what your team possibly could look like. So can't wait for all those things. But yeah, the Dallas got to be careful. But I think they almost don't have a choice but to franchise them. So I just hope that. But if I was George Pickens, personally, I would just go in it this year. I go in and take it, play again, prove them wrong again, make them pay me. The next year, yeah, if y'all try to do it again or try to shortchange me, and then it'll be an issue. But I'll go ahead and accept it for this season. And then next year, come back around and we'll see what happens then. A little bit of sad news. I know y'all probably heard former wide receiver for the Vikings, Rondell Moore, passed away at age 25. Of course, it's relatable. Of course, it was suicide. At least that's what the report says. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. All I'm gonna just say that I've been there. I don't know exactly what the young man was going through, and I don't like to speculate. But if you're on the outside looking at it like the rest of us, he had a rough NFL career. I had a lot of a lot of major injuries. I think he really played in like 2 or 3 seasons. I think he was out. I think he was rehabbing again. So a lot of people speculating that that was too much on him. Um, but I know you. I mean, I guess I'm a use Shannon Sharp. I watched Nightcap. He was talking about this, and he basically was like, I mean, you just never know. You never know. Like even me in my situations when I felt got to that point, like a lot of people didn't really know. Um, I sort of just it was like I cried for help indirectly. Like I would, you know, like talk to people and pretty much tell them what I'm thinking. Like I said, I actually attempted twice to unalive myself. So like I said, I've been there. So that's why this is relatable. He being so young. Even at 25, I had the thoughts. Um, so I just hope that he's at peace. I hope his family find peace, which is I know that would be hard, and that's why, honestly, yeah, I had my bad days still, but I just think that you can't, you know, people go just ask why we did it. You're not here to tell them why, you know. I think that's what one of the things that kept me going, and not to do that. Even though you think you might be alone, and you might be in a way, but you just never know who you might affect by doing that. So that's I always just try to stay strong. But it's just a sad story, him being so young. And everybody just saying he was an NFL player. You're the happiest. It's some of the happiest people. Like uh, hello guys, hello Chew. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like when Robert Williams, the actor, I was shocked by him. Um, taking his own life. Uh, the guy from Helen, the dancing guy, I can't think of his name right now. Like those shock you, because you just assume that those people happy and they living the best life, but that just should show you that money. A lot of things, though, I do believe you gotta have inner happiness, happiness with yourself. I think I know that's part of my reasons why I used to struggle and still struggle a little bit, but um, yeah, I mean, I guess it sounds easier said than done, but yeah, you gotta love yourself, man. I don't know what was on his mind, but I just hope he finally found peace, and for his family, it's gonna be hard for a while because um, you might get in your mind like, is it what could I have done more? Is there anything I could have done to save his life? Um, and that might never go away. So I just hope that the man found peace and his family somehow get over it. But my condolences to the War family. That was a sad story hearing about that, and I could rely, like I said, hit home because, like I said, I've been there myself. So, all right, so let's lighten up the mood because I started thinking about a lot of other stuff. But we about to wrap things up. I mean, like I said, it wasn't enough to talk. I mean, I've been gone for a month. I didn't want to go through everything that happened since I've been gone, because that'd have been a longer show. Uh, but I'm not really in the Winter Olympics. I like the Summer Olympics better. But the USA hockey, women's and men's, all gold. Won the gold. Women's, you're not that surprised. The women's, pretty much the USA women, pretty much in all, especially team sports. The women pretty much do their thing. We way ahead, still the world, and a lot of stuff. The men, yeah, we were surprised. We okay in hockey, but we're not the best in the world really. So I was glad to see the men win it. Canada, especially against Canada, Canada's our neighbor. But Canada's known for hockey, so to beat Canada for the gold, yeah. Even as I'm not a big hockey fan, but that was just good to see a good story for the U.S. men hockey. That was the first time they won a gold since the '80s. the Miracle on Ice game. So it was good for the men to do it. The women, they was not surprised, but still shout out to them too. So um, yep. So that was a good moment. Before I go though, I want to touch on Floyd Mayweather. Hi. I'm just gonna call you Net Mantis. Okay. What's up, man? Coming near the end of the show, but hopefully next week I'll be back. I've been gone for so long. Um, as far as the sports blog goes, um, Floyd Mayweather, man, like, now I'm hearing a lot of stuff that the reason he's coming back is because he need money. I'm not gonna get into that because I really haven't did the research on that yet. I heard somebody else this morning say like a lot of his property got seized, a lot of his businesses have fallen to the wayside. So basically, he needs money. So that's why he's doing this. Um, man, I don't know. I think he's going to beat Mike Tyson. I don't really want to see that fight, to be honest. Like Mike is past his prime. He saw his last fight. Mike barely can stand. I love Mike Tyson too, but these guys need to stop it, man. Like, first of all, we need boxing to get itself together. We need to stop all this politics and stuff like that. The best fighters should fight the best fighters. If you somehow can do that, boxing will be back just like that. If you just set the fights up the time that people want to see the fights, no ducking, no dodging. And I think it's because of all these belts and all this other stuff that's going on. I think that's why boxing the way it is. So we'll see. But Floyd, man, then he's going to fight Pacquiao in September. Now I'd rather see that fight because I think Pacquiao can still. I think Floyd ain't really too much over the hill either, but that I'd rather see that fight. I don't know. The Mike Tyson fight is an exhibition anyway, but Floyd, man, I mean, if it's true that he's going through all these financial problems, I get it, but I mean, we need to stop. We need to get boxing back to we need heavyweights as well. That was the thing back in the day. Get some good heavyweights. Have them fight each other. Boxers will be right back. That's why the UFC does pretty decently because you can't duck nobody. If you want to be the best, you can't duck nobody. I think it's only one belt in each weight class, so you don't have to like hold a belt and then duck everybody. So it's interesting. I mean, I like Floyd. A lot of people hate Floyd. He's going to make his money because people want to see him lose still, even though he's definitely past his prime. But if he lose, a lot of people will be happy about that. So and he know how to play to that like he always did. So I think he's going to do that again, and he's going to make another $600 million, and then he's going to dip, and he's going to floss on you, show you all his cars and everything else on you, because you're going to pay, and he's still going to win these fights. So that's my thought on that. That's my final thought for the day. Man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, I know I've been gone a couple weeks. I'm just trying to make some adjustments in life. You know what I'm saying? Work, my personal life. Things has changed a little bit, so I've been missing some streams. But hopefully next week I'll be back because I just found out from my job I'm gonna be off every Tuesday, so that'll help me do more blogs. So hopefully next Tuesday I'll be back. But I appreciate you guys so much. Let me shout out everybody before we go. Everybody that commented. Ella Owens, what's up? Thank you. I'm gonna say Monklin. Sorry if I butchered your name. Boo881, again, condolences to your dad. Sorry that you lost your dad. Giovanni, Chubun, Net Mathis. Thank you all for coming through today. What's today? Tuesday. So we got NBA. I'm gonna be doing some videos. I hope you guys are enjoying Wizard with a Gun. That's been a new project we're doing again. Resident Evil Requiem starts this week, Friday. So stay tuned for that. Got another surprise game. I'll give a little hints out during the week. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm glad I was able to come on this morning. Had a nice crowd. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk more NBA, more MLB as the season get closer. And I appreciate you guys so much for the support. I appreciate you guys subscribing, commenting, liking the video, sharing the video, everything. Appreciate you guys so much. Y'all have a great week. Check out my community wall. Check out all the rest of my projects here on the channel. And I'll see you guys next week, hopefully, or later this week. I don't know if I'm going to stream at night, but I'm definitely going to stream Resident Evil. So look out for that. I'll announce it when I get a good time together. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I'm Troy West, and thank you for watching Sound Supposed Video Blog. This was episode 321. Appreciate you guys. Have a good week. Peace and love always. Thank you guys for the support.